Hello everyone, and welcome to day 26 of our online yoga practice. Today we will be doing yoga for the lower back and the mid back. We will be basing many of our practices on the wonderful texts by Swami Nirajananda Saraswati, Prana Pranayama Pranavidya, and of course the classic Kundalini Tantra by Swami Satyananda Saraswati. Classic, of course, texts. I'm not promoting anything, simply citing my sources, if you will. Today's practice is also dedicated to the beautiful, wonderful, and only talented Miss Magdalene, as she claims another year of birth. So as we speak, come into your body. And today, of course, children are welcome to practice. We will be doing some longer yin poses, but of course, during those times, I will offer some adjustments. So for the next 60 minutes, follow your breath, come into your body, take a minute to close your eyes, feel the expansion in your belly and all parameters of the diaphragm. Feel your normal breath deepening as you melt into your physical body, leaving outside of this room everything that is indeed outside of this room, and focusing only on my breath, my voice. And as you continue to breathe deeper, now focusing into the rib cage expansion in the side body, feeling the wave mounting through the belly, up the spine, into the rib cage. And find that natural wave. Let it find the height of the wave on its own. If you're not quite filling your belly, your diaphragm, your abdominal area, to get that deeper breath into the ribs, keep going into the belly until you build up. With every breath, feel your spine lengthening, sitting taller, working those postural muscles. You do burn calories just by sitting as well. Just keeping the shoulders dropping down, lengthening the neck, always keeping this passageway clear. As we work on the spine today and the back, we will also be focusing on the Sushumna. We've done some meditations on that central energy passage that runs just behind the spine. And in the end, we will come into a chakra meditation today. Starting to include now that third part of your physical body, in the thoracic, the throat, the face, the cavities, all in the skull. Feeling the wave and let it naturally rise. And don't force it. If you're not quite coming up, don't struggle and squeeze and try to get the breath. Relax into it, and it will naturally find and fill all of those pockets that are uncrinkling, essentially, in the body. If at any time you need to adjust the legs, If you need to sit against the wall, if you need to lift the hips to sit up on a block, keep your strap, keep a block or a pillow nearby. And on your next breath, we'll start to come into our first bits of movement. So releasing the hands from the knees, inhaling, palm facing up, eyes of the elbows open, shoulders down. Inhale, lifting, touching the tips of the fingers, and exhale, coming down. It's important to take that first few breaths with movement just to connect. Inhale when the tips of the fingers touch, slowing down not only each movement but each angle upward a little bit more slowly, and move from the center of the body, move from the midline, move from that thoracic sternum as well as from the heart center in the mid-back. This is our third time up. As we reach the top now, let's interlace the fingers, bring the hands down behind the neck, squeeze into the back of the neck, and you might even want to just give a little bit of a massage coming up the skull, a little bit maybe that kind of nutcracker type of movement. If you've studied Nwadbororna, Thai massage, it's that kind of thigh or larger muscle nutcracker. And exhale, bring the elbows together. We're going to curl down, chin into the chest, just stretching out the cervical spine, keeping the rest of the back lifting. Let's hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling, curling up, elbows opening, and keeping the hands on the head. We're just going to release the fingers and touching the thumbs just under that occipital lobe, so that little bump area, and just kind of almost, again, find some pressure points and almost lift. And as you do so, feel the rib cage joining the back of the neck as you come up. Feel the opening, particularly in the back body. That's where that dense part of the lung tissue is. On your next inhale, let's bring the left and right arm up just for a moment, planting the shoulder blades behind, down, and relaxed. Stretch out the side of the neck, so bringing the left fingers to the outside of the right temple, right hand down, nodding deeply. And let's now keep the neck bending. Release the hand and just bring it to that shoulder and let it hang on the shoulder. And we're going to inhale, look up to the opposite side, and just swing that chin down and looking to the same side as the shoulder. Nice and gentle, and again down and back to center. Inhaling up, both arms up again, shoulders dropping down the spine. And exhale, opposite side. Find the sweet spot. Find the pressure point. Tenting or planting the palms. Chin to the chest. Slower and slower with every subsequent movement. Breathing into the belly. Lifting through the spine. Keeping the neck tilted, releasing the fingers on your next inhale, bringing the hand to the shoulder and just dropping that shoulder down. And let's bring the chin up to the side. Just sweep that chin along the front of your chest. And back to center. Let it hang here for a moment. And then inhale, both arms up again. Shoulders melting down. And we're going to come into a forward fold. So exhaling, coming down. Walk the fingers out as far as you can. Let the forehead melt down to the ground. We're going to stay here for 5 deep breaths, really focusing on that lower back, bringing your awareness into that space. We want to do this short breathing warm-up at the beginning just to start to unite the systems of the body, to slow down the breath, and also to give the stretch, the proper movement to each different parts of the spine. We have the 4 main parts of the mobile spine, and basically they each need 3 different movements. So as we've just done with the neck, we've done the up and down, we've done the looking side to side, and we've also just done the dropping the ear down to the shoulder. So those 3 different movements in your cervical, your thoracic, your lumbar, and your sacral spine are really what your body needs. And again, we need to think about the purpose of the spine. It's holding all of the bones together. It's taking the weight of the body, but it's also that protective casing for all of our nervous system and our brain, which is basically the main thing that we need to survive, of course. On your next exhale, keeping the chin tucked into the chest, walk the hands back nice and slowly, walking them up to the head, knees. Slowly inhaling, lifting vertebrae by vertebrae, dropping the shoulders down. You can take a few rolls with the shoulders down the spine, forward and backward. And we'll do a side stretch now into the side body, so more into the thoracic spine. Inhaling, arms just to the side, shoulders down, that T-shaped position. Feeling nice and strong, opening the palms, fingers are wide, reaching. Let's inhale, bring the arms together, holding at the elbows, trying to keep the neck lengthening, shoulder blades melting down the spine. And exhale to the left side. Really start to lift from the elbow. Feel the shoulder and the armpit opening. And inhale, opposite side. Exhale, follow your breath. And feel the space, the elasticity in your ribs giving in. Inhaling up, releasing the hands. And again, exhale a little bit deeper to the left side. If you can't come down all the way, if it's just not available today, have a block ready. Or just to the hands. Otherwise, come down to the forearm. Lifting, opening, and reaching to the side while simultaneously relaxing the leg, feeling this long lengthening in the side and the oblique muscles. And exhale, continue to turn. Elbow comes in towards the knee and twisting. Again, focusing on the lower back. We'll breathe deeply here for a few breaths. Looking with your eyes, your nose, your teeth, your tongue, everything you've got is participating in the twist. And never sacrificing the breath in the twist. As long as we stay breathing in the twist, we are doing ourselves deep neural pathway reprogramming for stress management. On your next inhale, nice wide arms. And opposite side, so tenting the fingers, flattening the palm, or coming down onto your forearm. Relax your legs, relax your feet, relax your bum. The arms are reaching over, back, and up. So 3 different movements simultaneously with the arms, simultaneously with the legs, completely relaxing. And following your breath in through the nose, expanding your exhale to be twice as long as your inhale. And dropping the palm, twisting, pushing, turning, lengthening, lifting. Twisting is a digestive agent, so any thoughts, any worries, any little gurglies in your belly, just let it go, let it pass. It does not belong to you. You would not hang on to what's in your intestines. Why hang on to what's in your thought patterns? Continuing to breathe, and on your next inhale, coming all the way up, nice wide sunrise. Palms now both planted behind us, fingers pointing towards the toes. We're going to come into a lift here, and if you're comfortable, we're going to kind of bring the feet back and knees together. So I'll demonstrate as in the first instant. So inhaling, lift, squeezing into your feet, your calf, your shin, your knees, your arms, your palms and heels of your hands. And when you're ready, we're just going to kind of open those legs, bring the knees together, feet together, and inhaling, coming up into a Vajrasana position. We'll do a pause for a breath here for a moment and locking. So we've just started to twist around that spine. Let's keep all of that energy in the core of the body and then flood it into the legs. We'll do the Shadhana Nadi Pranayama, alternative nostril breathing here. So arms up, right thumb will come into the right nostril. We're going to inhale left. We will again hold here. We'll have some kumbhaka, a breath retention, this time on both the inhalation and the exhalation. So if you're familiar with the practice, please begin. Otherwise, it's going to be right thumb blocking the right nostril. Deep exhale, inhale right, hold for the same amount. So if you inhale for 3 seconds, hold for 3. Open the left. Exhale for twice as long. So in this case, it would be 6 seconds, and then hold again for 6 seconds. Inhale left, hold, close, open right, release, hold, out. So it will be 2 inhales, inhale, hold with the same count. Exhale, hold with the same count. We'll do this for about 2 minutes. If at any time you feel dizzy, bring your head down. Come into a child's position. And release. When you're ready, exhale completely. Continuing and finishing off this round. And you'll notice inevitably that your breath gets deeper and deeper with every round. Keep lengthening the breath. And once you've finished this round, coming back into a regular seated position, rather back to your Vajrasana. And we're going to just fold down to the left hand side. So if we're on the left side, let's have your left front foot come just in the crux of the back of your right ankle. Okay, just for a nice seated position. We're going to come into Vajrasana, which is a twisting position, very good for promoting digestion, as I've said. And again, focusing on the lumbar regions of the spine. So taking a moment to breathe here, we'll come into a twist on both sides. Inhaling, arms up, shoulders down. Let's first have right hand to the left knee and left hand to the left hip, or you can have it onto the ground for balance. Twisting, relaxing the lower body. Very important to relax the lower body. Make sure your heels, your feet, they're not holding or gripping into anything. Make sure that you are completely releasing any tension in the knees. If we are holding anything here, it's completely counterproductive to what we're trying to do by getting into the yin-like tissues. And of course, in the spine, those are some dense fused bones together. On your next inhale, we're going to sunrise the arms all the way up, but the back hand. So the back hand is going to come up. Inhale, and as we exhale, reach for the outside of the opposite knee. And again, opposite hand can either come as a bit of a pillar or to hold on to the hip for a bit more of a twist. Okay, so coming either to stand and breathing deeply here. Nice gentle twists in the spine, promoting communication between the brain and all of the nerve endings. On your next inhale, again, nice sunrise with the back arm coming forward and coming back up to a Vajrasana position. We'll do the same on the opposite side. So, gently letting yourself fall, tucking the front of the right foot just behind the back of the left knee, finding your balance, making sure your hips are square. We're going to come into a twist first, so opposite hand to the opposite knee, inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, dips of the fingers touching, and exhaling, right hand, and turning. Feeling that belly expanding in this twist, feeling open, but safe in the vulnerability of breathing deeply into the front body. And left or back hand's going to come all the way up and over, and pressing into the opposite hand to the knee and twisting. Really feeling the intestines here. The lower intestine really stretching out. Feel the duodenum releasing any tension. A lot of tension is held in the digestive tract. And when you're ready, that back arm come all the way up to the opposite knee and coming back up to your Vajrasana position. Taking a moment just to sit here. Falling onto the side again. This time we'll lengthen the legs all the way up in front of us. Feel that blood flow just as that movement allows the legs to unfold. Allow the legs to wiggle, jiggle, give them a little bit of a bounce if you'd like in the knees. We're going to come into a variation of Marichyasana. Now I know we've attempted Marichyasana A in the past. So today we're going to stay with the Marichyasana A, forward fold with twists, but we're going to put a few different variations into it. So if you're comfortable to try all 4 variations, you are welcome. Again, we are focusing on the lower back, so if you have any specific pain or pinching, do not continue, but do listen to your body and explore the space. So we'll start with the left leg bent. Now again, we want to have the toes lined up with the knee. If that's a little bit tight, you can bring the leg out or even a little bit out further. We don't want to be in a straddle or a Paschimottanasana because we do want to focus on targeting this hip just a little bit. If you feel a little bit uneven in the hips, lift. And we're going to come into a few twisting positions. So inhaling, arms up, shoulders down. First, same elbow to the same knee. Okay, backhand can come as they go and pushing into the knee. And breathe. We're going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to do the opposite side. So inhaling, both arms up, opposite elbow now to the opposite knee. So really feeling that full spinal twist. Backhand again can act as leverage, and it doesn't have to be right close to the spine. It can be out quite a bit, but try to keep some integrity in your posture. Don't let yourself just limp and lean around. Really hold it and breathing 3 more breaths here. 2, 1, and 0. Coming back, we'll do the same thing. This time coming forward, so keeping the legs as they are. Now, if you're not comfortable coming forward, you can again come into a twist on either side. If you do feel that your forward ability is present, and if you would like a bit of assistance, you can sit on the block, giving a bit of raise to your hips. That will help with the forward bend as well, give a little bit more impetus to the position. Inhaling, arms up, shoulders down. The leg can be adjusted. And exhale, forward fold. I'm just going to release so I can get deeper into the hips. And holding this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. So let's just inhale, lifting, bringing the hands back, fingers pointing towards us. Just as a bit of a counter pose, if you're comfortable, let's just lift. Try to get both soles of the feet on the ground, lifting nice and high, stretching through the shoulders and exhaling down. Very good. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So now lifting the right leg in, coming in for Marichyasana, A, variations, 4 on the right side. Lining up the toes with the knees, sitting nice and tall. We'll start with the same elbow to the same knee. Inhaling, arms up, shoulders down. Right elbow down. Twisting, and again, we can have a bit of a distance. You can have a prop to help you. As long as you feel you are not compromising or bending the spine in any uncomfortable way. Twisting, very important. Twisting not only is a digestive agent for the mind, the food, the experiences of our life, but also for the internal organs. As we do this, we're essentially wringing out all of the internal organs, bringing ourselves back to that natural state of health and wellness. Same thing on the opposite side. So coming back to center, arms up, and exhaling, opposite elbow to the opposite knee, twisting, turning, spinning, breathing into your belly. Taking one more deep breath here. And when you're ready, inhaling up, arms both up, shoulders down. If you're comfortable making any adjustments that you may need, exhale, forward fold. And of course, if you do want to come into your binding here, you're welcome. Otherwise, just lengthening. And slowly inhaling up, let both hands reach back about 6 inches, pointing the toes, fingers towards the toes. And inhale, lift, aiming for both soles to be on the ground, chin into the chest, pushing, trying to push equally with both feet. Breathing through all the pores of the body and exhaling down. Very good. I'm going to come into a forward bend position. So, Upavista Konasa Paschimottanasana. Spreading your legs into a straddle position as much as you're comfortable. And again, if you'd like to lift your hips, that's absolutely fine. On your next inhale. And we are going to come into a longer hold here. So if you'd like to have the block or bolster coming down to help support the forehead, I think I'm going to do that today. I'm feeling a little bit tight in the back. And again, I've got my wonderful fire, the Agni, burning in the back. It is cold here on April 13th in Blueberry, BC. So we're going to hold here for 4 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So mentally preparing for that length of time. If this is your first class, do so for as long as you feel comfortable. When you're ready, inhaling, arms up, shoulders down, tips of the fingers touching. Nice straight back, coming out as far as you feel comfortable. Once you feel you've hit your edge, let your head roll down. And 4 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. Come into your breath. Feel the lungs and the back body opening. Feel the wave both from the inside of the balloon in your belly, the barrel in your ribs, the spaces in the places in your thoracic. Feel the spine and the vertebrae creating space with each breath. Relax the legs. Feel the backs of the knees opening. That's 1 minute. We'll relax here for 3 more minutes. The key to a yin position is time, stillness, and gravity. Very often while I'm teaching a class that is in the same room, I can hear shuffling or scuffling or people really itching within their body. And of course, it takes time to sometimes really settle into our positions. But be mindful that the principle of yin is stillness. The only movement coming into the body is the wave of the breath, and that wave anchors you deeper into the sea of your body. Every exhale becoming longer, lengthening your spine. It's 2.5 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. Starting to feel the knees opening, the hips pushing back, the spine lengthening. Feel the pineal and pituitary gland activation as the pressure and the weight and the gravity, the blood flow is all directed to that prefrontal cortex. So you're getting a nice length of the spine from the base chakra, the Muladhara chakra, up to the crown of the head, the Sahasrara chakra, and into the front of the forehead, the Ajna chakra, and corresponding to that Ajna is in the back space, which is often called the Bindi. Holding here for another 20 or 30 seconds here, ladies and gentlemen. That's a beautiful first yin. Hold and really feel what has happened to your body during these last paradigm shifts. On your next inhale, allowing the hands to come to the floor, walk our heavy, stiff, opening body back up. Take the block with you. Place it 6 to 8 inches behind you, and we're going to come into a butterfly back bend. So again, for about the same length of time, soles of the feet together. Now here, depending on where your specific back issue is, you may need to be very clear on where you place it. Now, for me, I don't have any specific back bend, I don't have any specific back issue, except for my newly 14-hour day on the computer due to the COVID online education classroom. So I really need to open my shoulders and my chest. So that's what I'm going to be going for from this moment, ladies and gentlemen, 4 minutes. Now, if you need the extra neck protection, bring in the pillow. Another block. I enjoy letting my head hang down to get the effects of the facial yoga and reducing the lines and the chins that I possess going forward. I'd like to keep one chin as I age. And trying to find that spot, lifting up and pinching back. Good. Once you feel that pinch, then you can start to release. And breathe. Let go of everything that you feel. Let go of your jaw, your hips. Coming up to halfway, so that's 2 minutes already. If at any time you need to come out of the position, feel free to do so. We are not in any way promoting a yang or competitive environment. Listen to your body, become an observer of what is happening in this miracle of life that you live in. Don't doubt for 1 second the power you have within your physical body, within your mental realm, within your spiritual psyche. That is just over 3 minutes, folks. We'll stay here for just under 1 more minute. Feeling the deep beneficial effects starting to impress themselves on the living tissue, reprogramming your cellular functionality, deepening the oxygen levels within each molecule. Breathing deeply into your belly. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, let's bring the arms out to the T-shaped position. Bending the elbows, bringing the hands, interlace the fingers behind the head. Inhale, bringing the elbows together and tuck the chin into the chest, stretching the cervical spine. And on your next breath, using the elbows to lift. Oh, that's beautiful. Removing the block, excuse me. And we're going to come into just a little rock and roll action here, ladies and gentlemen. So keeping the knees into the chest, holding the elbows, if you can, into the arms, keeping the chin tucked into the chest and pointing the toes, just let it roll. Adjusting yourself as you need, staying still, finding balance, but also trying to really feel where you're squeezing out any lactate acid or crunching out any kinks in the spine. Any crystallization can happen as well. And just continuing like this for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, let's come onto our spines. Keep the knees tucked in nice and tight to the chest. We're going to come into our closing position and then into our extended chakra meditation in Shavasana. And again, focuses on the lower back here. So let's take a moment to hold the hands on the knees, cupping the kneecaps, really feeling that warmth. And you might even want to give just a few circles. Self-touch is not promoted enough in our Western society. And we have great healing in our hands, and we are not encouraged to use that or to learn that or to, delve into what our body naturally knows. We're forced to look outward, to spend thousands and get lost and frustrated and confused and and really all we have inside of us. We just have to stop and learn to listen. While we're here, let's make just teeny tiny little circles And feel that nice pressure in the sacrum, barely even moving. And then into the opposite direction, and feel how powerful that pressure is. And now bring the hands just to the outside of our hips, palms facing upward for a bit of balance, bit of an anchoring, and start to widen that circular stance. So we're getting all the glutes, gluteus maximus, gluteus minimus, and even maybe staying a little bit on the side and kind of pushing really into the minimus, extending the legs a little bit, playing with, oh yeah, and I just got a nice crack on the lower spine as the legs extend, of course, gives a little bit more weight. And as the spine lengthens, you'll find your breath capacity expands as well. Let's bring the arms out to the side now and lengthening the legs, bending them 90 degrees. And let's exhale into a nice deep pendulum drop. And let the body be totally heavy, straightening the legs, turning to the opposite side. Bending the legs, inhale, 90 degrees, opposite side. So dropping the knees, relaxing, feeling the weight, looking to the opposite side, and then lengthening the legs. We'll do that a few times, inhaling that pendulum, focusing on the wonderful massage in the lower back. Any abdominal muscle work is pure coincidence. Follow the rhythm of your breath, following back and forth. And when you're ready, let's bring the legs up once more. Arms above, overhead. Bend the feet, toes pointing straight down. Feet are wide on the outer edges of the mat. And we'll come into a little bit of a reverse active table position. So when you're ready, we're going to lift the hands, lift the hips, and coming down, pressing hard into the biceps and into the feet. And exhale, try rolling vertebrae by vertebrae. And even if you can't really feel each vertebrae, consciously try to be there and just realize, pay attention to where you get stuck. Or pay attention to where you lose attention. Pay attention to where you lose the connection with your body. Nothing has arisen from nothing in your body. Everything has a root, everything has an origin. We don't need to talk and talk and talk about it. No, no, no. We in fact have to often do the exact opposite. Just move. Get it out. Okay, following a few more with your own breath at your own pace. And when you're ready, we'll come into a nice Shavasana. Keep your blanket, your pillow, whatever you need nearby. If you'd like to keep a bolster or some blocks underneath the knees, that's absolutely fine as well. Come into your natural breath. Come into your natural body. Beginning to focus on your breathing. Developing an awareness of your body. Feel the body becoming completely still and concentrate only on the stillness, the steadiness, the motionlessness. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the floor. Become aware of the body as a mere shell of skin with nothing inside. Slowly develop the experience of the body as a shell. Complete awareness of the stillness and emptiness that you can feel within the body. Become aware of the spinal passage lying within the stillness of the body. Visualize this passage emanating from the perineum, just below the base of the spine, in Muladhara Chakra, and rising up to the crown of the head, the Sahasrara Chakra. Intensify your awareness of the spinal passage. Visualize a transparent white or silver tube extending all the way from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. An awareness of this thin extension from the Muladhara to the Sahasrara. The major chakras are situated along this passage like tiny light bulbs or sparkling diamonds or rubies or petals of a lotus flower strung upon a thread. Take your awareness to the lowest point along your spine, the lowest point of the body, the Muladhara Chakra, from where the psychic passage emanates. Muladhara is situated slightly inside the perineum in males, midway between the scrotum and the anus, and in the posterior side of the cervix in females. Visualize this as a point of light. The Muladhara is the first chakra in the spiritual evolution, where one goes beyond animal consciousness and starts to be a real human being. It is also the last chakra in the completion of animal evolution. It is said that from Muladhara Chakra right down to the heels are the other lower chakras, which are responsible for the development of the animal and human qualities of instinct and intellect. From Muladhara Chakra upward lies the chakras which are concerned with illumination and evolution of the higher spiritual aspects of human. Muladhara Chakra has control over the entire range of these worlds. Continue to breathe and move up to the Swadhisthana Chakra, which is situated at the base of the spinal column at the level of the coccyx or the tailbone. Visualize this area as a point of intense light. This second chakra, Svadhisthana, is located at the lowest point or termination of the spinal column. It corresponds to the sacral plexus of nerves and controls the unconscious. Move up to the Manipura Chakra, which is situated directly behind the navel on the inner wall of the spinal column. Visualize it as a point of radiant light. The third chakra is Manipura, situated in the spinal column exactly at the level of the navel. It corresponds to the solar plexus and controls the entire processes of digestion, assimilation, and temperature regulation in the body. Continue to breathe very deeply as we move into the Anahata Chakra, which is situated directly behind the center of the sternum in the spinal column. Visualize this as a point of shining light. The fourth chakra is Anahata. It lies at the vertebral column, which is at the base of the heart, at the level of the depression in the sternum. It corresponds to the cardiac plexus of nerves and also controls the functions of the heart, the lungs, the diaphragm, and all the other organs in this region of the body. Move up to the Vishuddhi Chakra, which is situated in the cervical plexus directly behind the throat pit. Visualize it as a point of vivid light. The fifth chakra is Vishuddhi, which lies at the level of the throat pit in the vertebral column. This chakra corresponds to the cervical plexus of nerves and controls the thyroid complex and also some systems of articulation, the upper palate, and the epiglottis. Move up to Ajna Chakra, which is situated at the very top of the spinal cord in the region of the medulla oblongata, directly behind the eyebrow center. Visualize it as a point of gleaming light. Ajna, the sixth and most important chakra, corresponds to the pineal gland lying in the midline of the brain directly above the spinal column. This chakra controls the muscles and the onset of sexual activity. Tantra and yoga maintain Ajna, the command center. This has complete control over all the functions of the disciplines of our life. Move to Bindu Chakra at the top of the back of the head. Visualize it as a point of blazing light. Finally, take your awareness to the Sahasrara Chakra at the crown of the head. Visualize it as a point of luminous light. Sahasrara is supreme. It is the final culmination of Kundalini Shakti. It is the seat of higher awareness. Sahasrara is situated at the top of the head and is physically correlated to the pituitary gland, which controls each and every gland of the body. Together, these chakras come together to create the nadis. The nadis are the energy lines within the system of the body running along the meridian lines. These nadis culminate within three main energy lines: the Sahasrara, the Ida, the Pingala, the Sushumna. Visualize all of the chakras simultaneously as glowing, throbbing points of light, diamonds or rubies, or petals of a lotus flower hanging on a thread. Become aware of the consciousness ascending the spiritual passage from Muladhara to Sahasrara with the breath, passing each of the chakras in turn. And chakra means a swirling vortex of energy in the English language. So as you breathe in, the breath comes up the Muladhara, spiraling along the spinal passage, piercing each of the chakras. And by the time you have completed the inhalation, the awareness should have reached Sahasrara. As you begin to exhale, the awareness should be at Sahasrara. When you complete the exhale, the awareness should begin again, Muladhara. There is control over each inhale, each exhale lengthening. The awareness moves with the speed of the breath, starting from Muladhara at the time of inhalation. The awareness passes up through Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vichuddhi, Ajna, Bindu, Sahasrara. At the time of exhalation, the awareness passes down Ajna, Bindu, Vishuddhi, Anahata, Manipura, Swadhisthana, Muladhara. As you pass the various points of light, mentally repeat the names of the chakras. Begin the process of inhalation at Muladhara. Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Ajna, Bindu, Sahasrara. And now exhaling, repeating Sahasrara, Bindu, Ajna, Vichuddhi, Anahata, Manipura, Swadhisthana, Muladhara. Continue moving the awareness of your breath through each chakra point with mental repetition of the names. Be completely aware of the process. It should not be unconscious. You are in complete state of pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, moving upwards towards samadhi. Continue this practice, intensifying the awareness of the chakras. Continue to stay here for as long as you may desire. Otherwise, getting ready to end the practice, let the awareness of the spinal passage leave the body, leave the awareness of the chakra, leave your breath in your spine. Become aware of all the sounds around you. Become aware of my voice. Gradually become aware of your physical body lying on the ground, making sure you are totally back in your physical body. And when you are completely ready, very slowly begin to wiggle the fingers and toes. Allow your head to turn gently from the left to the right. Inhaling deeply, interlace the fingers overhead, bending from the left, stretching the side, body, oblique muscles, intercostal muscles, and the right. Releasing the hands, bringing the knees into the chest, wrapping your arms around your knees, and finding stillness, small circles, rocking side to side, whatever you may need to release the energy and the tension in the back body. And when you are ready, slowly allow yourself to come back down to a comfortably seated position. Slowly allow yourself to come to the side, keeping the knees in. We are in a fetal position. In this original yoga position, take a moment to thank those who have helped you become who you are. Take a moment to send your energy and love to those suffering. Smile, allow the energy from the practice to enter your body, reminding yourself the effects of the practice continue long after we leave the mat. And now, when you are ready, and only when you are ready, very gently, very slowly, in your own time and at your own pace, coming back up to a comfortably seated position. Take a moment to feel the effects of practice on the body. And when you are ready to close, as is traditional, bringing the hands into the heart, feeling its rhythm. When you are ready. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Atma Namaste. Thank you all very much for your time, energy, and patience with the technology. For the students among us here today, particularly those of you tuning in from Selkirk, I wish you all good luck with your final exams this week. For all the instructors, I wish you a congratulations for finishing a very intensive semester. And for everyone, a reminder, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the emotions, you are the light, you are the breath, you are the eternal I am. You are a mere drop in the ocean. What you do, what you say, what you see here returns back into the greater ocean. Yodi, Yodi. Hey, Yodi.